All right, gamers, Nexus Gaming Series, Season 14. I am theStroke, and I'll be casting our Round 2 action tonight. It's going to be a best-of-3 Battle Royale Assistant Newb Manager versus Lowered Expectations. And it should be a good little scuffle in the Division D West. If we want to take a look at some standings here, I do believe that Assistant Newb Managers, Lowered Expectations, undefeated at this point, 1-0 with a best-of-3 sweep in their first round. Picking up 3 points. We double-check that. It could be a little bit skewed. If they've played a flex match, they may have picked up 2 and 1. Yeah, that seems like it's probably the case. Lowered Expectations, probably 1-1 at this point. As the crew are setting up the room, we'll just kind of get people's feel as people start to trickle into the chat. Let's see who we got planning on winning this match. I don't know a whole lot about either of these teams. Hi, Mom. Welcome to the chat, Botio. Who's going to pick up this victory, huh? Looks like you. I don't know if you're on one of these rosters. But should be an interesting matchup. Looking for the Assistant Newb Manager to pick up their first victory. And it's still early in the season. We could have a lot happen. All I really care about is a good match. A lot of kills, a lot of memes, a lot of clips, a lot of highlights. Let's go ahead and get those out there. And still kind of waiting on them to create the room. One more time, we can go ahead and check out some standings over in Division D West. Council of War leading the way with 6 points. That's 2 clean sweeps for them. And then Lowered Expectations rounding out in second place. And looks like we are going to be joining the room here shortly. And let's go ahead and take a look at the map bans. So over on Assistant Newb Manager side, they elected to ban Battlefield of Eternity and Garden of Terror, leading Lowered Expectations getting the first map pick. They banned Sky Temple along as well as Towers of Doom. And we are going to be heading over to Infernal Shrines, picked by Lowered Expectations. I know nothing about either team, says Pickle Matt. Lowered Expectations of me. So I'm going with Lowered Expectations. Well, there you go. High expectations for Lowered Expectations. And we should be just about ready to start our first mat. Like I said, Infernal Shrines to start out. Always an interesting map, right? Because you've got the Punisher that pushes with your team, so Sylvanas gets a lot of value, but you also need a lot of wave clear to pick up those minions to get the Punisher on your side, that John Cena. So we'll see what kind of drafts we get out of these teams to see who's got a good strategy for this map. Getting some teams ready. And looks like everyone's ready. We may or may not be heading into the draft. Always an intense time for the caster. Got to input a lot of stuff during this time. So go ahead and talk about these team drafts. And it should be over with Assistant Newb Manager getting the first pick, therefore first ban, and we'll see what kind of strategy they come up with. First ban is going to be Alarak. I'm imagining that's probably some sort of scouting done on the lowered expectation side. What will we see from the red team? Standard bans these days. Johanna. Globals are pretty good here. Dahaka. Falstad. Brightwing. And a Garrosh ban comes out. Second ban going over to Assistant Newb Manager. I'm going to just go ahead and guess Falstad. Just a random guess. Old Deckard boy. Old man Deckard. And second ban for lowered expectations. Wait for it. Could it be? You'll never guess. Johanna. Oh, the Blaze Band comes out for lowered expectations. So let's see who Assistant Newb Managers decides to pick up as their first pick. Unicycle Yay picks up Johanna. Now 2 picks going over to lowered expectations side. Johanna's going to be pretty good at clearing those minions inside the objective area. Stukov and Dahaka, so that global, and then Stukov always a good good healer. Dev 0 on Stukov.
Here we go again.
And then a Chromie Brightwing comes out for Assistant Newb Managers. Malfrex is over on Dahaka. Second round of bans coming out here. Ice Queen over on Chromie. And Tychus banned out for lowered expectations. Maybe imagining them picking up a Diablo type tank. And final ban of the first map on Infernal Shrines. Assistant Newb Manager versus lowered expectation. And Devarian gets banned out. All right. Let's see what these teams can come up with right now. Not really going to give an edge to either side. The Chromie is pretty good for this map, but that can be answered by any number. So there you go, Vala. Pterosaur picks up the Vala.
Our world is worth fighting for.
And the May goes over to Dingo. Final 2 picks over for Assistant Newb Manager. See what they elect to decide to round out their comp with. A Thrall and a Sonya, so heavy on the melee. Side piece is going to pick up Thrall. And Gul'dan for Telpheus to round it out. And that should do it. Everyone's locked in, and we are going to be heading to our first map on Infernal Shrines. As the game loads in, right now I'm thinking I'm going to give the advantage over to Assistant Newb Manager. I like what they got going on with their comp. It's just going to be a matter of whether or not Brightwing can heal through the Gul'dan and Vala damage. It's going to be pretty rough, but we'll see how that goes. Game's loading, and we should be heading in pretty dang quickly now. All right, for the blue team, we've got Nolius on Sonya, side piece on Thrall, Ice Queen on Chromie, Unicycle Yay playing the, looks like Johanna and Grim on Brightwing. Over for the lowered expectations, Telfius on Gul'dan, Dingo on the May, Pterosaur on Vala. Dahaka is going to be played by Malfrex, and Stukov played by Dev Zero. Right now, Uncle Unicycle Yay just kind of warding it out, checking out what's going on. No fight happening. Dahaka's going to be just playing it safe, heading out up to the top lane, doing his work. And so far, a peaceful battle. Looking at the talents here, we are going to have the double blinds from Johanna, so we'll watch that damage over on the Vala and the blinds. Dahaka getting a slight advantage here, but nothing Sonya can't handle. We're already getting rotations down to the bottom lane. Experience being picked up by both, and the ball is going to elect to go with that Hungering Arrow first talent build. And the top laner's doing what they do best. We may get a camp sniff out here for Unicycle Yay on the Joe, and lowered expectations starting at camp immediately. Over on the same side, assistant Newb managers getting right after it on their camp. May electing to check out what's going on over here. She's just going to play it safe and soak. Stukov already taking care of his minions down here in the bot lane. And so far, Sonya is making a rotation down to the mid lane. And we're going to get a 4-man pressure down here at this bottom camp. As lowered expectations clears out these minions in the bot lane. These camps battle it out, kind of even. Vala's going to clear out the blue camp. And we'll see if there's any sort of resistance. None offered for lowered expectations. Dahaka doing his work as a double soaker. He's got to be careful here. He may get caught out. There's going to be a lot of melee damage. He may get rooted by Thrall. Nope. He gets the drag on, but the Polymorph follows up and safely escapes for all players. Talents going out. Johanna electing to go with that Punish talent at level 4. So far, both teams just playing extremely safe for the first. A little bit of experience miss there for lowered expectations. We may see the camp get picked up for lowered expectations. This is going to be an issue for assistant Newb managers if they don't pick this up. If they don't stop this. This is going to get a lot of pressure in the top lane. And assistant Newb managers electing to get this started as soon as possible. But as you can see there with Gul'dan Vala, lowered expectations immediately able to pick up a ton of those minions, already at 13. Fight's going out. Uncle Unicycle Yay taking up a lot of damage, gets the Brightwing heal there. But looks like lowered expectations is going to be able to push them off the point and pressure top lane. Nolius is going to head up there and stop this thing from taking down that fort, which is a good call. Pterosaur taking a lot of damage from some Chromie W's, but nothing crazy. First Punisher going over to lowered expectations. See if Johanna baits him over. She does, and this thing will get cleared up relatively quickly, so no harm done overall, but was interesting to see that lowered expectations basically had their way with that fight and that camp. Not a whole lot of damage onto the structures, but that did force Sonya to have to respond. So good macro play by lowered expectations so far. Sonya is getting massive structure damage in the bottom lane. Dahaka on his way over. Will we see a skirmish here in the middle lane? May taking a lot of damage. She gets polymorphed, but Thrall is taking tons of damage. Gets healed up from the Brightwing Z. And right now everyone's just sort of licking their wounds. Camps coming out for lowered expectations, and the same over on assistant noob manager side. AG Silver AG, welcome to the chat. He says, go assistant noob managers. May's going to check out this camp here. Johanna's pretty split. She should be fine. Silence comes out from Stukov. All teams disengaging. Sonya's picking up this top camp on her lonesome. We've got double camps pushing in the middle. And a lot of damage going out on May. She's probably going to go down with the rewind. Yep, and there it is. So first kill of the night for assistant noob managers. Pickle Matt, you can bait the Punisher by... Basically, he attacks the first thing that does damage to him, or really the first thing that he gains vision of, enemy-wise. So, what you saw, Thrall's going to take a lot of damage from the Stukov silence, but he gets out of there. Side piece escapes with fraction of his health. Otherwise, we've got camp pressure in all 3 lanes for assistant noob managers. Yeah, you just go down to the bait store and you all right, Johannes warding out this fog here. A lot of damage went out on the top fort for lowered expectations. Right now, things are looking pretty good for assistant noob managers. And as you saw with that Punisher, the assistant noob managers are basically master baiters. Dahaka's got to be careful here. They are looking for the 4-man engage / gank. He's going to hide in the bush, and they are setting up something cheeky. Vala's got to be very careful. Oh, boy. And you just know how this one ends. Cool Dan caught out as well. He's going to get a fear on 2, but assistant noob managers capitalizes with that excellent aggressive positioning. I really like to see that, especially with the shrine up. Looking at the damage numbers right now, lowered expectations higher on the numbers, but losing the map game. All right, both teams on level 10s. Strafe for Vala. We got the snowball for May. Nothing crazy. And leap for Sonya. So we'll see how that goes. Blessed shield for Johanna. And Thrall electing to go with the earthquake. A lot of damage going out to assistant noob managers. Big tongue by Malfrex. He's going to escape. Grim's going to escape just barely. A lot of damage going out to side piece. He's not going to survive that, is he? Oh my, snowball. Yeah, wow. So all of assistant noob managers escape with their lives, but they're going to have to lick their wounds and probably give this Punisher over to lowered expectations. We'll see. They looking to re-engage. Johanna goes in, gets that 3-man punish. A lot of damage going out on lowered expectations. Gul'dan is low. Telfius, Nullius is all over him. Dingo goes just about goes down as well, and we're also going to see Stukov be brought down low. All right, so spoke too soon. Assistant noob managers with a great re-engage to pick up the Punisher, second one of the match. Dingo's got to be careful here. If he gets stunned and then a Punisher stun follow up, he's going to be in bad shape. All right, Punisher's gonna go on to the towers for the keep. Bot lane. A lot of damage going out on the Dingo. He's gonna get healed up pretty handily. And that Punisher's gonna be gone. But towers down in the bottom lane, and right now, just a slight structure advantage for assistant noob managers. We'll see if they continue that same style of aggressive positioning. Looks like we might get another battle over this camp here. I think Lowered Expectations probably going to have to let this one go just based on the talent tier, but we'll see. Nope, they're going to go for it. May is on the point, but backline is just getting torn apart by the melee of assistant new managers. The blue team is getting pretty low, though, if Gul'dan can get back in there and start laying out the damage. But they're going to walk away with this camp as Lowered Expectations backs off to try to recover some of the experience that they might be losing out on, while Assistant Noob Managers picks up the camp in the bot lane. Gingerbread Man 566 says, "Go Lowered Expectations." Yeah, there we have it. We got a 1-for-1 cheer-a-thon for both teams. Generally evenly matched so far. 6 kills to none, though, for Assistant Noob Managers over to Lowered Expectations. So we'll see if Lowered Expectations can step it up a little bit in the team fight department. Right now, they're just trying to catch up. 3 levels down, and this could rapidly snowball into being only 1 structure down into a dangerous situation. Assistant Noob Managers posturing possibly for a fight here. If Lowered Expectations is smart, they'll back off, which they are. I'm looking to head up to this top camp. We'll see what Assistant Noob Managers plans on doing about that. And they have plans. They got lots of plans. Snowball out on Sonya. That's going to put blue. Oh, the leap gets her back onto the camp. She's going to be taking a lot of damage, but she's going to get that spin going. Oh. Both Stukov and May go down, and Assistant Noob Managers is just mopping up this fight. They may be able to get pressure on this top keep with that camp pushing and 3 members down for Lowered Expectations. So far, they're having their way with this match against Lowered Expectations. We'll see what kind of counter we can get. That global is giving them dividends with the Brightwing. As they took that top keep out, she just kind of backed off and got soak in the mid lane. Pickle Matt says, "Go theStroke." Thanks, buddy. You're the best. If you're over in the chat, if this is your first time in the stream, I would so much appreciate it if you hit that little heart follow. I'll let you know when I go live. Stream this game from time to time. Oh, my mouse sensitivity. Bottom fort goes down for Lowered Expectations, but they're going to get some damage on the top fort for Assistant Noob Managers. Assistant Noob Managers pick up another camp here in the mid lane. And right now we're just seeing full backs from all of Lowered Expectations. So third Punisher going over to Assistant Noob Managers. We'll see here. Let's watch this bait. This well-executed bait. And she's going to take a lot of damage from the Johanna engage. A lot of damage coming out from Vala. Kind of missed a lot of that strafe for Pterosaur. Sonya's going to be picking up a lot of damage, but that Punisher getting a 3-man stun. John Cena, he's no slouch. And this bottom keep is in danger of being eliminated as there's nothing they can really do about it. Dahaka's going for the tongue, misses, and bottom keep gone. Punisher gets cleared out, but not before the consequence, not to mention the fort and experience all going away for Lowered Expectations. Down 3 levels. And it just feels like right now every single camp is going the way of Assistant Noob Managers. You hate to see it. So now they're just going to have to play catch up as they soak experience. Try not to die to get caught up for level 20. It's going to be an uphill battle for them. This is one of those situations where I almost don't even clear this minion wave so that my minions don't march so far forward and feed the XP to the orange team, because that's the only way they can come back. But you could argue that either way. Look at these. Look at these little goats. Look at them. Looks like we may have a deja vu engage here. Oh, sniffed out by the May. Very smart by Dingo to check that out. Make sure there was no one there. Fala didn't walk through the bush this time. And right now they're just playing catch up. 3 levels to go to get to level 20, and this is... I don't know if they're going to be able to do this. Camp pushing as well as catapults. Should give them a little bit of XP. And we're going to see assistant noob managers go immediately for this top camp right next door. And they know that lowered expectations, they just can't really do anything about this. Johanna goes unstoppable to start the fight. She's going to throw out her blessed shield on the Stukov. Snowball picks her off, but not before Stukov goes down. May's taking a huge amount of damage, and this is probably going to snowball to the end of the game for the victory by assistant new managers. We'll see if Vala can put out enough damage to scare them off. Sonya is just on core, and she sees victory in her sights. Vala, good tongue on Nolius on the Sonya. Pterosaur putting out a lot of damage. Nolius is extremely low. Pterosaur is going to, literally 1 health, and the core goes down. First victory goes over to assistant noob managers. All right, let's take a look at some stats for our first match. 11 kills to nothing is the big highlight that stands out to me. Assistant noob managers dominated every single team fight. Nobody died. A lot more healing out there by Brightwing over the Stukov, which is pretty surprising. But, yeah, pretty convincing win for assistant noob managers. Never felt like they were in danger. Only lost really that first team fight for the first Punisher. Yeah, so we'll see if lowered expectations can rebound after that. Well, interesting matchup. The undefeated lowered expectations. Sorry, not undefeated. The 1-1 lowered expectations picks up a pretty convincing loss there, whereas assistant noob managers haven't picked up a win so far. Convincingly picks up that game. So, but if you do remember, I did predict that lowered expectations would, or assistant noob managers, just based solely on their draft, would pick up that victory. Let's see if these dudes are ready for their next map. All right. Just waiting on the next map pick. We'll see what lowered expectations can do to turn this around. I think they just probably need to go for a little bit less sustained damage and try to get a little more burst in there as they and CC as they try to pick up. We're going over to Tomb of the Spider Queen. For match number 2 for assistant noob managers against lowered expectations. Just getting things set up for you guys as we figure out where we're going. And assistant noob managers picked Tomb of the Spider Queen. So there you have it. Map number 2. Some wave clear, still important. And looks like Lowered Expectations is going to be looking to pick up the first hero pick for match number 2. Yeah, like I said, I'd just like to see a little bit more team fight synergy, some CC coming out from Lowered Expectations. I just think their comp was really going to struggle with what assistant noob managers had going on with that melee front. Sonya, always hard to deal with when you got 2 squishies in Gul'dan and Vala. And then the double blinds for Johanna, making Vala have a much more difficult time pumping out the damage than she would normally be expecting. So we'll see what kind of changes we get from both teams. Let me know in the chat. What do you think? Are we going to game 3? Is it going to be a clean sweep for assistant noob manager? Getting a 1-second break requested from old Lowered Expectations. 2-0, let's go, says AG Silver AG in the chat. All right, we'll see about that. We shall see. So, if assistant noob managers is able to pick up this victory, just looking at the standings here, of course it's early in the season, and there's other games happening at all times, but this will put them right into the mix of things. Give them 4 points right into second place over Lowered Expectations. Lowered Expectations looking to pick up at least 1 victory to keep them in the hunt. Don't forget, you also got those flex matches getting scheduled for a lot of teams. So things are going to start hitting hot and heavy as Season 14 rages on. All right, looks like all teams are ready. And we will be heading into the draft for map number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. NGS Season 14. Division D West. Assistant noob manager versus Lowered Expectations. And let's have it for the draft. Last time we saw maybe a respect ban on the Alarak, maybe some scouting done, and then a Garrosh ban as well. So we'll see what we get here. Johanna's pretty overpowered. I wouldn't be surprised to see Lowered Expectations get her banned out this time, but we'll see what we got. $20 seconds for Lowered Expectations on the first ban for map number 2, Tomb of the Spider Queen. The time has come for them to make their choice. Blaze it is. I believe they banned him the first match as well. Assistant new manager looking to ban the Alarak again. So not sure if that's maybe ask him who on the red team is good with the old Alarak. Band number 2 coming out for Lowered Expectations in 5, 4, 3, 2, and the Brightwing. Global not as important on this map as other maps, but still a good healer these days. And Polymorph causing all kinds of problems for all kinds of heroes. Band number 2 is Johanna, interestingly enough, for Assistant Newb Manager. So we'll see what first pick we get for Lowered Expectations. Wouldn't be surprised to see someone like Nazebo, Zool. And the Dahaka comes out again for Malfix.
Here we go again.
And a Rhaegar Chromie coming out for Assistant Newb Managers. Assistant Newb Manager. Excuse me. Excuse me, everyone. Rhaegar. And Chromie. Oh, the Asmodan comes out and the Nazebo. So this is going to be hopefully a late game plan for Lowered Expectations. Second round of bands coming out for Assistant Newb Manager. And there's the Deckard band again. And we'll see what Lowered Expectations decides to go with for their final ban of map number 2 on Tomb of the Spider Queen. The Sonya band comes out for Lowered Expectations. So kind of fear in that respect, ban, if you will. Two more picks going over to the side of Assistant Newb Manager. Uncle Ye is going to pick up the Diablo, and Nolius on the Skeleton King Leoric. Unicycle Ye. I think I called him Uncle Ye. Sounds better. Malfurion goes over the side of Lowered Expectations for Pterosaur, and May on Dingo, or Dingo on May. Last pick over to Assistant Newb Manager. Who it going to be for side piece? He goes with the Thrall again. So there we go. They like what they had with that triple melee. This is going to be some slow damage for Lowered Expectations. So we'll see if they're able to pump out the damage to deal with the health pool of Assistant Newb Manager. If I had to predict, which is kind of my job, I would imagine the 2-0 sweep for Assistant Newb Manager, but we'll see what we get. Over to Tomb of the Spider Queen for map number 2. And we have, for the blue team, Graham on Rhaegar, Ice Queen on Chromie, Uncle Unicycle Ye on Diablo, Nolius on Leoric, and Side Piece on Thrall. Red team, Malfrex on Dahaka, Telfius on Asmodan, Dev Zero on Nazebo, Pterosaur on Malfurion, and Dingo on the May. Good luck, have fun, everyone. Let's hope to see a good battle and a game number 3. Good lunch had fries. Yep. And we're off. Dahaka immediately heading to bot lane, just like he did in the first match for his solo duties. And looks like Lowered Expectations is not going to get aggressive at all in the traditional middle team fight that we see. Interesting to see Nazebo goes with the Thing of the Deep talent as Nolius heads bottom to battle his counterpart. We're just going to see Nazebo and Asmodan rotating a lot to pick up stacks. And Asmodan only going to get one there. Diablo goes stun out onto Pterosaur. Dingo is able to peel that off. Rhaegar taking a lot of damage. Oh, that Nazebo wall just missed. That would have ended his day. So kind of an equal battle there. Diablo looking to see if he can pick up his globe and gems. Gets a stun out onto Dingo, and just like we talked about, Dev Zero already backing out of mana. Dahaka getting a little bit of pressure on the bottom structures. Root goes out onto Malfurion with the sleep, or Diablo with the sleep. Emerald Dreams for his Entangling Roots. 2 seconds after it expires, heroes will sleep. Interesting one. Get a Mooney. I'm assuming he's talking about Unicycle Yay. I've actually redubbed him Uncle Yay. It's a lot easier to say. We're going to get a 2-man engage for this bottom camp. Malfrex is going to have to back off. Let's see if we see an engage here, knowing that there's 2 bottom. Nazebo's late to rotate. Looks like they're more concerned about just getting their stacks, waiting for the late game. I will say, Assistant Newb Manager is going to have a mean synergy for level 10 if they get Entomb, APOC, and Sunder or Earthquake, honestly. Asmodan getting flipped by Unicycle Yay, who is taking a decent amount of damage, but that's all going to be sustained, not a whole lot of burst. A couple gems missed by Lowered Expectations, and Malfrex is going to have to do something about this camp. Leoric is just a bully in the lane. Unicycle Yay puts some damage, but gets caught in the Nazebo zombie wall. Takes a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. Right now, Malfrex is having an issue with this camp. He may need some help down here, or they're going to lose both of these towers. But no help to be found. Poor Malfrex. Gets the tongue drag finally out onto one of the golems. Little engage happening here in the middle. 4-man against 3 as Dingo is able to peel off Unicycle Yay from his backliners. Tongue goes out on the Leoric. He don't care. Right now, gems relatively even. About a 10 gem difference for Assistant Newb Manager. Camp gets picked up by Lowered Expectation, and we're going to get some turn-ins by the blue team. 1 interrupt out, but 32 already turned in for Assistant Newb Manager, and that's going to be an issue. First round of Spider, not too crazy, but can definitely steamroll, especially against this late game comp that Lowered Expectation has got going for themselves. Camp nearly cleared. Unicycle Yay taking a lot of damage. The globe goes out from Asmodan. I saw 77 health for Diablo at his lowest, but a lot of damage going out on these structures in the mid lane. So definitely good pressure coming out for Lowered Expectations. And they're going to have to clear out this camp. Let's try to salvage some of that ground that they've gained. Dahaka goes up to top lane to clear that out. We'll see if Leoric, likewise, pushing bottom. They're probably going to lose this tower in bot lane as nobody's down here. And first set of Spider Queen spawns goes over to Assistant Noob Manager. Once again, continuing their kind of map/objective dominance that they had in the previous match. And I really like what Grim's doing here whenever he needs to. Just kind of being the one to get the gems, get the experience, get into puppy form, and just get back out of there. Helping his team on all fronts. Assistant Noob Manager pushing middle lane. I don't think that Lowered Expectations has the damage to kind of threaten this three-man front. Spiders miss for Nazebo. They do take out some of the spiders. Diablo, big stun out onto Asmodan. He's going to get a follow-up from Rhaegar. Big damage going out to him, and the rewind, and he's done. R.I.P. Leoric gets a whole fort to himself. And right now, Assistant New Managers in control. Level 10s achieved. Earthquake, Ancestral Tomb. And the Temporal Loop for Chromie. APOC as well for Diablo. 10s rapidly picked up for Lowered Expectations to follow. Tide of Sim for Asmodan, Garg for Nazebo. We're going to get Trank from Terrorsaur, so they're worried about the healing. APOC whiffs. Does pick up Nazebo. Who's going to get tombed? I'd like to see the tomb come out first, followed by the APOC. But a lot of damage going out to both sides. Leo's taking huge amounts of damage from the tower. Gar gets good value. Ancestral goes out onto side piece. He's going to get caught in the zombie wall. Malfreg's getting in there, see if he can get a tongue out, and everyone escapes for the blue team. Decent engage for both sides, just not a lot of burst happening. CC follow-up for Lowered Expectations. The Haka clearing out the camp in the bot lane. Right now, Dingo looking to see if he can get a turn in. Diablo's going to stun him. Dev is pretty much out of mana, so he might as well back. And Assistant Noob Managers almost has enough for another round of spiders. 4 more gems they need to get the double spider turn in. Right now, Lowered Expectations seems happy to just kind of collect gems but not turn them in. Asmodan finishes his quest. Got at 200 stacks there. Taka's got to be careful here. He might be getting ganked. Avoids a tower shot and goes invisible just to, or burrows just to get invisible, but he's definitely going to go down. Little too little too late, and if Dev's not careful here, he's also going to go down. Meanwhile, Lowered Expectations is able to get the Spider Queen turn in. Shouldn't be too much of a problem for Assistant New Manager to clean up. Bottom lane's pretty far pushed in. Let's check in 126 stacks for the Voodoo Ritual for Nazebo and 242 for Asmodan. We'll see if that late game spike is something that they can achieve. Right now, this engage is going to... Unicycle Yay misses on the APOC. This does scare off members of Lowered Expectations. Dingo is going to ward out. Ice Queen is going to see if she can get in here and clean up this spider. Flank from Nullius. We'll see the Tomb whiff, as well as the Isolation from Dahaka. So Pickle Matt, since you're new and you're watching this, when you're playing Diablo, instead of just pressing APOC and expecting people to get hit by it without you CCing them, you first want to set yourself in a position so that you can stun someone into the APOC. So APOC, charge, immediately flip, and they will go right to the APOC spot that they were at when you initiated it. That gives you at least CC to start the fight. Otherwise, you kind of usually just end up whiffing your ult. Spider Queens, or spiders, getting picked up by Assistant Noob Manager. Asmodan's globe is starting to take chunks of health from this front line of Assistant Noob Manager. Top spider almost down. Zebo looking to do work with the Garg in the middle lane. May's got to be careful here. Taking a lot of damage. Thrall almost goes down. The Ancestral saves him. I don't think Trank is going to be enough to save Dingo. Icewall only gets one. Oof, Diablo with the perfectly timed spell shield. Otherwise, he would have gone down. The Haka picking up this bottom camp. Overall, though, a decent defense from Lowered Expectations. Looks like Leo might be sniffing this out here. No. Somebody's pinging. Lowered Expectations does have enough for another turn in, but it doesn't seem like Assistant Noob Manager has any plans of allowing them to do that without fighting. 16s, if I were them, I would get in there right now, but they're going to back off. They don't want to lose all those gems. They're playing scared, which is understandable. Looks like they're just going to stick to their game plan. Late game. Leoric taking a lot of damage. He's going to have to back off. Ice Wall splits the members, forcing them to go around for Assistant Noob Manager. Big damage out from Asmodan. But they're still just kind of backing away. Ice Queen takes a globe to the Nugget. Good tongue out onto the Diablo. Unicycle Yay may be in trouble here. The APOC, that's exactly how you want to do it. And follows it up with another flip and stun into the wall. Dingo taking a lot of damage. The Tomb is going to end his day. Malfex gets a tongue out onto Unicycle Yay, who also takes a lot of damage. One kill on the May, and then everyone's going to have to back off. So they did get some value from this bottom camp pushing. And they are probably going to be able to get the turn in. Maybe. He was turning in, and then he left. All right. Things starting to get pretty damaging for Nazebo and Asmodan. We'll see if this late game strategy pays off for the incomparable Lowered Expectations. Whiff on the isolation for Malfex. Spider comes out. Unicycle Yay gets an awesome combo on Dev, but right now that barely hurt him. And if Leo's not careful, Nilius is going to go down. Yeah, he gets blown up by Nazebo and Asmodan. Okay, things starting to snowball late game as expected for Lowered Expectations. They are going to be able to get this top fort. Some additional pressure in the top lane. They may be able to posture for boss. We'll see what they elect to do. Azmodan fully stacked 400 for Annihilation. Zebo up at 193. And looks like they may be posturing either for boss or another big turn-in. We'll see what our blue brethren decide to do. Looks like they might be heading down towards the camp. Being smart about not squandering their advantages they just got by going for the boss and throwing like everyone else would do. They are about 18 gems shy of getting another spider round, with Malfex having all of their gems. And Grimm taking a quarter of his health with one Asmo globe. And right now, both teams just kind of playing it safe. There is a camp in the bot lane. Malfex has to be very careful here. On the other hand, Assistant Newb Manager does have enough gems for the turn-in, so Grimm may be able to... Oh, half his health gone. One globe, and they are able to get the spider turn-in. Continuing to pressure the bot lane with that camp. Probably not getting any structural damage with the spider coming, but at least keeps that lane from being pushed out too far. We're going to see the middle lane cleared out first. We may see an engage from Unicycle Yay. Solid Nazebo wall to break that up. Good root. He's going to be slept. Ice wall. Miss on the Asmo globe. Oh, all of their CC chains just missing. This bottom camp clearing out that spider all by themselves. All right. I'd like to see engage as soon as they get 20 for Lowered Expectations. But they're going to play it safe. And posture for another spider round. They need 10 more gems. Zebo, 203 stacks. If you're wondering what that does, Pickle Matt, after he gets 175 stacks with his quest that he took, he gets to apply that same thing to heroes. So that dot that you see when he attacks the minions and structures now gets applied to heroes as well. Leo's going to take some of that damage. If you look at Leo's health bar, he's taking a little bit of damage over time on his health bar. That's the Nazebo quest talent. Azmodan clears out the camp. Casually takes half of Grimm's health. They're not careful. The blue team already has 41 gems turned in. They may be looking to get pressure on this bottom keep, which might be a smart move. Yeah, that thing is long for this world. Garg's going to handle that handily. And we're going to see an aggressive flank from Diablo. Malfex gets an excellent burrow to escape that APOC, but the silencing Entomb is not fun at all for anyone. Ancestral goes out for Grimm. He gets healed up twice. Lowered Expectations still looking pretty healthy as Asmo just took 4 members down to half health. And this is going to be Thrall going down as well as Leoric, and Rhaegar also going to be in trouble. Spiders take him out. Ice Queen low as well. We'll see if they elect to go core with 58 seconds left. And we may be going to game number 3, folks. Oh, that globe gonna hurt. No, she missed it, but Malfex takes her out. And this may be GG over to lowered expectations if they can pump out the damage. Diablo is back up. But with a Nazebo and a Garg, this thing is already half health. And we are going to be heading to game number 3 for our match against Assistant Newb Manager versus Lowered Expectations. Excellent long game strategy from Lowered Expectations. Looking at the stats here, yeah, you can just see towards the end of the game, Nazebo and Asmodan just started pumping out major damage, and Assistant Newb Managers just weren't threatening enough with their heavy melee comp to kind of interrupt that, so it just started to snowball for them. 3 kills to 5, nothing too crazy, but as we saw there at the end game, Assistant Newb Manager, nothing they could do about it. Nazebo and Asmodan just buried him. Game number 3, folks. Pretty exciting. I don't know. This could be anyone's game. While we've got a moment to wait, while they create the next lobby, if you're in the chat for the first time, this would be a great time for me to tell you about our video game podcast I run with I'm Pickle Matt and my buddy Swiftmida. Every Sunday at 9 p.m. Central Time, we cast One More Game podcast at twitch.tv/OMG podcast. And we talk video games. We talk industry news, releases, game reviews, and then we talk a major video game topic every week, whether that be MOBAs, PlayStation, mental health and gaming, all kinds of stuff. So if that sounds like something that you would be interested in, you could check us out on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all kinds of podcast websites. That's omgpodcast.podbean.com. And we'd love to have you. Our community is growing, and it's been a great little journey as we talk games. All right, let's see what kind of maps we have left to choose from. It's interesting, both map picks were won by the other team. All right, so I'd imagine we're either going to go to Cursed Hollow or Dragonshire. That's my guess. What do you think in the chat? Never mind. We are going to Volskaya. We are setting up the lobby here. Off to Volskaya Industries. Volskaya Foundry. And this was picked by Lowered Expectations. All right. Game number 3. Assistant Newb Managers versus Lowered Expectations. Might be Joel. Last map was won by Lowered Expectations. We are off to game number 3. Looks like teams are getting ready to start. They may be swapping out a player over on expectation side. Or someone DC'd. So we'll keep you updated on that. You can check out some recent results in Division D West down there at the bottom. Council of War takes a 2-0 against Kingfishers. As well as 210 Bletchman Street gets the 2-1 victory over assistant Newb manager last week. All right, chat. What do you think? Based on what you've seen, we had a excellent team fight comp shown by assistant new manager in map number 1, and we had a excellent long game, late game win, snowball with Nazebo and Asmodan by lowered expectations in game number 2. We're off to a very point control centric, sustained damage kind of fight map. Easy K93 says, let's go, assistant new manager. All right. It seems like we're starting to get some lopsided cheering going for A&M. Just waiting on them for one more player, looks like. And we'll be ready here shortly. This is week number 2 for Nexus Gaming Series, Season 14. We've been going at it for quite some time. Let me know in the chat, how long have you been playing Heroes of the Storm? And how long do you plan on playing? The news that this game was officially on maintenance mode was sad for all, but I feel like this community is growing bigger and bigger every day. Not up to date. Throw gun just won 2-0. Very nice. Yeah, sometimes these things, they take about a day to get updated. All right, looks like the standard thing happened. One person from one team needed to use the restroom, and then someone from the other team needed to once they got that idea in their mind. Assistant noob managers. Chat is just going ham for you guys. You can't let them down. Solely based off of team portrait synergy, assistant new manager should be dominating. And it looks like all teams are ready. We should be going into the draft on Volskaya Foundry for game number 3, the decisive map. And here we go. First draft ban going over to assistant new manager side. We'll see who we get banned out. And it's going to be Alarak again. I'd really like to know who the terrifying Alarak player is. Blaze coming out for the ban on the side of lowered expectations. Ban number 2 for assistant new managers. Game number 3. Conflicted 1989 says he's thrown his hat in for lowered expectations. Ride that confidence wave from the last game. I like it. A momentum does play a part in this game. Asmodan banned out. They didn't like that. Not at all. And the Joe ban. So there you have it. All 4 bans. And we're ready for the first pick over on the side of assistant noob manager. Grim is going to pick up the Brightwing. Two picks going over to the side of lowered expectation. We're going to get Nazebo and Dahaka. Dev is going to pick up the Nazebo once again. And once again, Malfrex on Dahaka. Ice Queen once again going to pick up Chromie. I think she's played her all 3 rounds. And Sonia once again on the side of assistant new manager. Nolius picking that up. All right, last bands of the match. Deckard has been banned out all 3 games. Thrall finally gets banned out for the side of lowered expectations. They don't want side piece on him anymore. Last ban for assistant noob manager. And Deckard, all 3 matches. Poor old man. Just can't buy a match. We'll see who lowered expectations decides to go with on this Volskaya Foundry map. Ragnaros, always a good choice for Telfius, and once again Dingo picks up the May. Final 2 picks for assistant noob manager. Imagine possibly could see another Diablo. Murden for Unicycle Yay and Tychus for side piece. That could be a little bit scary for both the Haka and May. Last pick going over to the side of lowered expectations for our last pick of this best of 3 match against assistant noob manager versus lowered expectations. Division D West. Rhaegar gets picked for Pterosaur. See if anyone swaps out. Not that I saw. And that should take us into the match. Game number 3. Moist Weenus, thank you for the raid. Welcome, NGSers, to this game number 3. Season 14. Division D West. As assistant noob manager goes against lowered expectations. It's been a back and forth, ladies and gentlemen. We saw a very synergistic team fight comp from assistant Newb managers in game 1. Game number 3 for the blue team. Grim is on Brightwing. Chromie played by Ice Queen. Nolius on the Sonya. Unicycle Yay on Muradin. And Side Piece on the Tychus. For the red team, Dingo on May. Telpheus on Ragnaros. Dev Zero on Nazebo. Malfrex on the Dahaka once again. And Pterosaur on Rhaegar. This is it, folks. The good luck have funds are out. And it all comes down to this. Let's see what we get from these two teams. Spider build this time for Nazebo. And Ragnaros still waiting. He's going to go with that E build. And as is tradition, we're going to get a stun out on May. She gets polymorph. She's going to have to use her trait, and she's going to get out of there, obviously, with no issues. We'll see if we're going to get the late game spike again from lowered expectations, or will assistant Newb manager be able to handle that this time? Muradin is going to ward off the rotation for Dev, Pterosaur, and Telpheus. Going to take a little bit of damage, but nothing crazy. Malfrex getting pressure in the bottom lane. A little bit of structure damage going to go out on that top tower. And we're going to have rotations by... Unicycle Yay is doing a good job of watching the rotations for lowered expectations. Go sports, says Gingerbread Man. Yep, we like sports. We don't care who knows. Dingo, about half health. Gets the preemptive blizzard out there. Camp getting picked up by Side Piece and Grim in the bottom. This map is very important to just get these camps as often as you can. Unicycle Yay taking a decent amount of damage up here in the top. He should be fine as the other members of Lowered Expectations back off. And Camp picked up in the top lane for Lowered Expectations. Small skirmish breaking out here in the mid lane. Nothing of note. Dahaka working the camp on their side for Lowered Expectations. He's going to have to pop his trait. And Pterosaur is going to help him out with that lightning shield. Nazebo doing Nazebo things at 38 stacks so far. 35 on the spiders. Chromie is looking at 7 on her quest. And 8 for the Muradin. Spiders stacks about halfway there for Nazebo. Muradin's going to be safely jumping on out of there, and Dahaka's going to get a little bit of structural damage down here in the bottom. Pterosaur holding the turret for Lowered Expectations, and Side Piece for Assistant Newb Manager. All right, we'll see who gets on this point first. Unicycle Yay is the first to take control of the center. And looks like Lowered Expectations has no intention of denying that. Side Piece. Ice Queen taking a huge amount of damage from that bush engage. Grim also going to go down. Pterosaur continuing to follow up, and they're going to back off as Assistant Newb Manager does lose control of the center. While Nolius is down here in the bot lane putting damage down onto the bot tower. We'll see what the game plan here is. 49% control for Assistant Newb Manager. Dingo engaging with Unicycle Yay. He's going to have to be a little careful. Not a whole lot. Dingo's getting a little bit low. Uses his D. Pterosaur putting some damage onto Nolius. Malefrex get the tongue out onto the Sonya. She's taking big damage, and Ragnaros is going to finish her off, as it were. Malefrex looking to push off, put pressure on the unicycle. Yay, to get control of this point, but they got to be careful with that Tychus just chunking health in the back. Oh, big tongue out onto unicycle, and he goes down. And that's going to give control of the center objective over to Lowered Expectations. So good team fight for them. Sustained damage map, man. You just got to kind of fight patiently. And Muradin just couldn't hold out with that CC with the Dahaka drag. Spider's completed for Nazebo. He's at 72 stacks, doing his thing, rotating, while they maintain control of Alpha, for you Overwatch fans. Unicycle Yay back into the fray. And they just casually push Lowered Expectations off of this point. Turret goes out. That's going to get taken out. We'll see if Malefrex decides. Sands of Time for Chromie. Always a pain in the butt, especially on this map. We'll see if we get a drag. He's going to miss the tongue. But Unicycle Yay goes down to half health, and they're going to have to leave control of this center. And they're just going to give the objective up. First Triglav over to Lowered Expectations. Nolius heads down to the bottom lane to finish off this tower. Smartly starts retreating as members of Lowered Expectation go missing. Ragnaros uses his Lava Wave in the center, so they're going to get pressure in all three lanes. This could be a structurally dangerous situation for Assistant Newb Manager. And they get one tower down, almost the second. Nazebo's up here in the top. They're going to get both towers down. Guard goes out onto the top fort. Triglav is all but gone. Tychus is in a... Sorry, Malfurion. Good lord. Muradin, about half health. But they're just going to kind of wait until that Triglav gets taken out. Sonya heads to top lane in an effort to not lose this top fort. And I imagine as soon as Lowered Expectations sees that happening, they may try to engage here. So 4-on-4 fight here down at the bottom. Ragnaros leaves. May takes a lot of damage. Dingo gets out of there just barely in time. That Tychus is at 65 stacks of in the rhythm. And where'd your health go, bro? Zebo getting the camp here. Dahaka looking to head top lane. See if he can get a little... oh, Nolius knows exactly where he is. Gets the isolation out on her. Misses the tongue. Dingo looking to flank, and Nolius may be in a bad spot. The Blizzard disses, so she may be able to get out of there, especially with Leap and Brightwing, but Brightwing's in it. Oh, good teleport. Good blink. That almost was one of those Brightwing saves you and then you leave her out to dry situations. Her blink, or Dev Zero's in a bad spot here. Good unstoppable from Pterosaur. Ice Wall goes out, effectively splits Assistant Newb Manager, but doesn't catch anyone in it. And they're able to safely disengage, so a little scary situations for both teams there, but all players walk out unscathed. Malefrex just waiting, delaying to take this camp as long as he can, and we're going to see some pressure here in the top lane from Lowered Expectations. Nazebo looking at 116 stacks. Lava Wave comes out on the top. We'll see if they try to force an engagement here. Nothing crazy. Dev is in a bad spot. He's got to watch out. Goes ice blocks. Unstoppable. The leap goes out onto 2 members. Ancestral comes out, and once again, Lowered Expectations gets out of there. Tongue misses for Malfrex. I'd like to see him get that tongue out right away rather than get a couple auto attacks in. And 15 seconds until point Bravo for the next objective. Unicycle Ye is playing this pretty aggressively. I like what he's doing. Lowered Expectations has to back off relatively quickly as Tychus is forcing the issue. Sonya's got to watch out here. Nope, they're going to disengage and just kind of get some structure pressure. Garg putting massive damage out onto the fort. They might just risk it for the biscuit. Never mind. Big engage goes out onto May. Ragnaros gets blown up. Malfrex got his passive healing going on. But they do get a 1-for-0 kill against Ragnaros. And they may be looking for more. Dev is in a bad spot if he takes that stun. Oh, somehow. Oh, the leap goes down on him. Ice Wall saves him. Oh, this is the match of narrow escapes. But right now, the tongue goes out onto Unicycle Ye, but he's going to be just fine. Pops his ult. And that Sands of Time effectively going to seal the deal for that camp capture by Assistant Newb Manager. This match is anyone's game. Kind of crazy. Awesome. Yeah, that ice wall was pretty clutch. Clip that and highlight that because that was a good one. Save Nazebo's booty. Guard comes out. They're going to try to get the rest of this fort. Tongue goes out onto Grim. He's taking a lot of damage. So is Dingo. Murden is going to pop in there, miss his hammer, and he's taking a lot of damage. He's going to go down. And so does the fort. Sonya gets dragged as well. Nolius has to leap out in order to survive. Point Bravo is theirs for the taking for Lowered Expectations. This fort is, you know when you're playing first-person shooters and your friend says he's won? Not quite that. There it is. And he's going to be invisible. He'll be just fine. And 20% control for Point Bravo for Lowered Expectations. One thing that Lowered Expectations doesn't have is a very close engage for the Dahaka. We'll see if he decides to join or if he continues to push. Oh, they forgot to grab the center. Oh, stun goes out on the Zebo. Preemptive Ancestral. A little bit early, but it keeps him alive, so better late than, or better early than not happening. And Dingo taking a lot of damage from Unicycle Ye. Lava Wave comes out, and I'd like to see them just get on the point. Dingo taking a lot of damage from Nolius. He should be fine. Unicycle Ye has to jump out of there. Oh, Nazebo just gets melted by side piece on that Tychus. And now we have a 4v5. Although Sonya is mid lane. A lot of damage going out on Dahaka right now in the rhythm for Tychus is just causing a lot of problems for Lowered Expectations. Another fort goes down on the side of Assistant Newb Manager. Structurally, they are in control. As well as kills. We'll see if they're able to... Chromie gets Tychus trapped in a in a time trap. May's gonna go down here most likely. Yep, and that's gonna be the objective for Assistant Noob Manager. This match is back and forth. Crummy Muradin go into the Triglav Protector. Tower's going down. Brightwing clearing up this camp in the top lane. We'll see how quickly they can... We'll see if Telpheus decides to save this fort with his trait. Doesn't appear like he's interested in that. Triglav goes down rather quickly. They're looking to keep on engaging here. Let's see if he can get a tongue out. Silence goes out onto Chromie. Malfrex misses his tongue again. Sands of Time, slowing all members down, and Sonya gets free pressure down to the bot lane, except Lava Wave. Destroyer of Dreams. Sonya rapidly retreating. She's got a long way to run to safety. And they're going to go ahead and let her do that and pick up this camp for free. Level 20 is coming out for Lowered Expectations. We've got Lava Surge for Ragnaros. Vial Infection for Nazebo as expected. He is complete. And this might be the late game Brightwing getting a Ninja Hearth in the top. And we're seeing both teams just kind of posture. Nolius engages on the back line, gets the leap on Ragnaros. We might see an Ancestral come out from... Oh, Icewall gets 3 members. The tongue comes out from Malfrex, but it's on Unicycle Yay. Never a good thing. Ragnaros pops his trait on the fort, and Assistant Noob Manager will just back off. And Zebo continuing to stack up in the mid. He's only going to get stronger from here on out. Assistant Noob Manager picking up the camp on both sides, top and bottom of the map. And right now, 6 kills to 3 in favor of Lowered Expectations, but this is anyone's game at this point. Unicycle Yay positioning aggressively, jumps out onto Dev Zero, who dodges the hammer handily. Icewall gets 2 members. We'll see if we get the tongue out onto Muradin. Oh, misses. That would have killed him with the Lava Wave. Spider's going out onto Unicycle Yay, who jumps on Dev. Muradin taking a lot of damage, but putting out a lot of damage. Dingo gets low. Leap goes out, hits 3 members of the Lowered Expectation team. Dingo's real low, gets polyed, uses his trait, gets out of there with the Ancestral, and now Unicycle Yay in trouble. Solid stun to save his own life. Gets the double stun. And now all members of Assistant Noob Manager have to back off. Dahaka posturing down in the bottom to get control of the objective. Man, a lot of crazy fights with no kills in this map. We're going to have 4-man pressure in the top lane on this keep. This is a lose-lose for Assistant Noob Manager. And they're getting retreat pings. They're going to get a reaction from the members of Assistant Noob Manager. All the while, Dahaka getting control of that objective. All right. right, they're going to have to immediately head down here, and it's going to be a little bit too late. This is going to be a level 22 Trigloff Protector. We're 19 minutes in. Kahaka picks it up, misses with his stun, and they're just going to look to push. Dangerous situation for Assistant Newb Manager in this case. Ice Wall goes out, doesn't hit anyone. Separates Tychus, who's getting low but melting the Trigloff Protector. Laser Drill gets taken down. Problem here is you're missing 2 members. Oh, that Ancestral was literally just in time. Oh, Dev goes down. Oh, ice blocks. Does he get out? Nope. Stun comes out from Murden after the leap. Pterosaur also in trouble, and all 2 members get taken out for lowered expectations. Murden wants more. Jumps in and continues to pressure this bottom lane. We'll see if we get a Telpheus trait. I don't think they have the damage for this to really matter, as he gets melted by Tychus. But you know who is in the top lane getting pressure on this top keep. So far, no... Sonya's backed. Dingo gets stunned out by Unicycle Yay. And another disengage. In case you haven't noticed, Lowered Expectations still has all 3 of their forts. Nazebo is sitting at 220 stacks. There we go. We get the first fort dropped by Assistant Newb Manager. Telpheus looking to pick up this camp in the top lane. Dahaka's got to be careful here. Icewall goes out, gets 3 members just to save him, as Dingo is getting pretty low as well. This is a cooldown on Icewall. 60 seconds, so nothing crazy. Lava Wave clears out bot lane, and we're going to get pressure in the top lane as well. Tongue drag out on the Unicycle Yay. He's taking a lot of damage. He's got to leap out of there right into a guard. Never a fun spot. And May takes some big damage as well. The Dragon Laser is out, chunking her health. Telpheus trying to flank, turns around, leap from Sonya. May is going to go down. And this is a dangerous situation for Lowered Expectations. That was a great fight for Assistant Newb Manager. That's exactly what they needed. And they're going to just continue to push. They do lose the top keep for an Assistant Newb Manager, so they're going to have to get some value for this. Point A coming up for the objective. There is damage going not quite yet onto the core for Assistant Newb Manager. Should be handled fine by Sonya. And let's see if we get a flank from Assistant Newb Manager on these. Oh my goodness, they're hearting. Lava Wave goes out. Tychus is going to take a lot of damage. Grim is in a bad spot. And we're going to see a stun come out from Ragnaros. Too late. I do not know how they got out of there. Unicycle Yay still taking a lot of damage from Nazebo. Malfrex gets the tongue out onto him, but he survives. All the while, Point A just waiting for someone. Looks like we've got Control going over to Lowered Expectations. Dingo looking to pick up this turret, making defending that a little bit easier, or at least taking it away from his opponent. And we'll see how Assistant Newb Manager is going to play this. 55% on the Triglav for... Stun goes out onto Pterosaur. He immediately pops Ancestral, and he's just going to get blowed up. Back and forth, I tell ya. And this is going to be a problem that they're going to have to deal with. What a match. Camps being picked up for lowered expectations. Can they take down this middle fort? Zebo Wall goes out. He hops out of there. Ice Queen just chunking it down from far. And I'd like to see lowered expectations. Nazeebo's going to get stunned. Polymorph stunned again. Ice block, no healer, no shot. As well as Dingo. This could be a bad spot. Great turnaround for Assistant Newb Manager, as they had lost a couple of fights prior to that. Right now, the stagger is going to hurt. Ragnaros pop his trait and immediately gets burned down. Without their Nazebo, it's going to be a rough. Bottom keep goes down. Still got a lot of health on this thing and already down 20% on the core. I don't think they're going to be able to stop this Trigloff. Not at this stage in the game. The 2-1 victory goes to Assistant Newb Manager. What a match, folks. We saw a lot of crazy, narrow escape, just teamfight madness in that game. Let's take a look at some stats. We'll try to see if we can get an interview in here. Yeah, the great match tonight that we saw. 8 kills to 7 for Assistant Newb Manager. About as close as you can get. Like, it was neck and neck all game. It came down to the final Triglav, which at that point is just too powerful to stop. Chromie with 107,000 damage. Zebo just a little bit too late on his late game spike. Well, there you have it, folks. Assistant Newb Manager picks up the 2-1 victory, picking up the 2 points over our friends on lowered expectations. Let's take a look at where that's going to do for them. It's going to pop them right up into a tie with lowered expectations. Great match. If you're in the chat, thanks for joining us tonight. I'm going to work on getting a interview up in here in a few seconds. If this is your first time in my stream, if you wouldn't mind hitting that follow button, as well as join us at twitch.tv/OMG podcast every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central, and we talk video games. All right, who we going to get in the chat? All right, going to have Nolius joining us here in a few seconds after I get my voice settings figured out. We'll join the NGS. We'll be in lobby 5.
Hello.
Hey, Nolius, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How are you feeling about that victory?
Man, That was super close.
Yeah, looking at the kills, 8 kills to 7 on game number 3 comes down to the last Triglav. You guys got to be feeling pretty good about that, especially with those guys have played pretty well this season so far.
Yeah, they were definitely tough. That is not a map we play very often. I think we had a scrim yesterday where we played it for the first time and perhaps the first time ever.
Yeah.
So as the off lane, I went to the top lane yesterday, and my team chastised me for that. So I was sure to go to the bottom lane. I know it hasn't been that long out of Storm League rotation, but I've just completely forgotten about it. So
Yeah, I was definitely surprised to see that as the pick there. I was thinking maybe Dragonshire or something, but how are you feeling about Sonya? Seems like she's getting a decent amount of play this season.
is that right? You know, I it's funny. I actually wanted Blaze pretty much every game, but they they banned out my Blaze.
Yeah,
So
it looks like they respect banned you all game.
I don't know if it was respect ban. I mean, Blaze is super good on a lot of these maps now. So I mean, it
Hey,
was a sensible ban, and
you
we
you
had
can
the
be you don't have to be modest here. You can say you're the best Blaze NA. You know what I mean?
yeah, no, that's clearly true as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, cool. How
I
are
don't
you?
think I'm not even sure I've played Blaze this season.
Yeah, that's rough when you don't get to play your favorite uh,
No.
heroes. But how are you guys feeling after the second match? What was your game plan? Because that late game kind of spiked for them.
Yeah, you know, I feel like it was super frustrating in real time, but kudos to them. They played that map really well, and they were pushing everywhere, and they're really hard to kill. So
Yeah,
that was
it's a hard strategy to answer, right? If they can get two late game heroes like that, Nazebo, Asmodan.
we even called it. We were like, we have to get a lead early, but we just couldn't really do anything because they were so effective at pushing. And
Yeah,
yeah,
if I figure it out, I'll let you know so you guys can have a strategy. But I don't think
yeah.
there
I
is
mean,
one.
our strategy was to ban Asmod in game
Yeah,
3.
seemed to work. There it is.
Yeah.
100% on that strategy there. Unicycle Ye was playing some pretty aggressive positioning with the tank. Is he kind of your shot caller as you guys start your positioning, or?
He is our team fight caller. And yeah, he had some. He's been making good engages. And so we it's up to us to follow those good engages. We had some miscommunications for certain, especially me on Sonya. I was leaping way too far for the team, but my heart
as
was in the right place,
as
just not
Sonya's
my
will
body.
do.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, you guys had a really awesome kind of cheeky kill on Vala on Infernal Shrines where she just kind of walked into the bush and you guys were there waiting on their side of the map. And that was a cool one to watch.
Thank you. We that often happens to us. So
Yeah.
we've been trying to bush gank more. But it's one of those things. I think in game 1 especially, we had a level lead, so we had some luxuries to bush gank and miss all the soak,
Right.
which is nice. We didn't have that luxury in game 2 or 3. I think we were always trying to claw back.
Well, very nice. Congratulations. How are you feeling about NGS season 14? You having a good time?
Yeah, it's been great. I think we've been in 2 really close games or 2 matches, and so that's perfect when you are having competitive games. Everyone's been really pleasant to play with, and we're actually we're playing. This is a round robin league, so we're playing this team again. But I think with how close we were, they're going to be a good scrim partner too, because we're looking for scrim partners, and Dingo, their captain, reached out. So
Oh, for sure.
we
Yeah,
may
that'll
get
be
we may
awesome.
get more more games together. So
Well, very nice. Congratulations. It's good to see this game staying alive, no matter how bad Blizzard tries to kill it. And
yeah, right.
I'll give you the floor to just kind of shout out whoever you want. And
Yeah, shout out to my teammates, Grim, Unicycle, Yay, Side Piece, and Ice Queen. Shout out to Underdube Management. They've been super, super helpful to us. They've they've been watching some pretty painful replays for us and giving us some great feedback. So really appreciate that.
yeah,
And then yeah, thanks so much for casting. And thanks so much for NGS. This is a lot of fun.
Of course, yeah. Congratulations. Go celebrate their victory, and unless you got work tomorrow, don't get too crazy. And we will
Yeah,
see
we'll
you
see.
in another match.
Very good. Thank you again.
All right, man. Congrats. See you.
Thanks. Bye.
There you have it, folks. The ever humble Nolius from Assistant Newb Mentor. And thanks for joining us tonight, guys. That was an exciting match. It was kind of long, but we had a great time. A lot of good strategies that you saw out there. This is Division D, right? And you still see some high-level gameplay. So NGS ain't no joke. Thanks for joining me tonight. And if you have any suggestions for me, you can reach me at twitch.tv/theStroke or __stroke on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me, I'm Pickle Matt, and my buddy Swiftmeda talking video games every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Central Time at twitch.tv/OMGpodcast. You also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever else you might find those things. We talk video games, game reviews, a major topic every week about video games and industry stuff, and it's just a good time, hang out, chat. We're growing our community, and we'd love to have you guys. If you're in the chat for the first time, I would love a follow. Otherwise, have a good night, and we will see you next time in the Nexus. Take it easy.